Hi, good evening, everyone. This is Akira. This is Megumi. For this special workshop, we are talking about one of the fastest growing, types of ramen that, across the world, that's called Iekei Ramen. Iekei Ramen is originated in Yokohama city, and then like that's been like growing like really fast. And then we being asked by a lot of customers, how to make this special type of ramen noodles, and it's so special in that well, it kind of goes against the conventional method, like making ramen noodles. So that's what we are making today. And then, so we are making this Iekei ramen noodles on Richmond Gold One, and then the reason being that we designed this Richmond Gold One machine to specifically make this type of noodles, which are sometimes very hard to make, and then very like kind of put a heavy load on the like conventional ramen machines to make this type of noodles. So that's why we are making these Iekei ramen noodles in the Richmond Gold One machine today. But for you guys to understand, have a better understanding of like what this rich Iekei ramen noodles is, I just want to go over like some slides I made, and then we're gonna make Iekei ramen Richmond Gold One after that. So let's dive into some of the slides I prepared, and then I just want to explain what this Iekei ramen noodles is. So Iekei ramen noodle is basically what we call like reverse cut noodles. Like it's reversed in a way that it's cut like differently. It's kind of like the noodles are cut in the reverse order from the normal regular way. Well, to explain, I just want to kind of dive into this chart that we've been using a lot, in this kind of workshop, right? And so this chart is very useful, convenient to explain, different types of noodles, different types of hydrations, and then hardness, protein content flour we use, and then noodle sizes, right? Um, just to point out, right, conventional pasta machines are capable of like making noodles that are like 32% and 36% in hydration level, but Richmond Gold One machine is like capable of making way wider range of hydration noodles, so 25% and 45%. So it's a very flexible in the way that it can make it's capable of making Hakata style tonkotsu noodles, low hydration noodles, to Iekei ramen noodle we are talking about today, mid hydration, the high hydration noodles like tsukeme and udon noodles, right? And just to illustrate, the condition of dough, right? The dough sizes between these like different varying hydration level are so different, as you can see from this picture, right? But Iekei ramen noodles we are talking about today belongs to the mid hydration level noodles. So that's specifically the recipe that we have today is 33% hydration level. And then further illustrate the different hydration level, and then those sizes, and then the noodle sizes is that so conventional like a normal ramen noodles, right, is basically the shape like rectangular shape, and then or flat shape, right? So basically the width is bigger than the thickness, right? Width is bigger than thickness. But when it comes to Iekei ramen noodles, right, it goes against the um, conventional method, and then so it ignores this width is bigger than the thickness, right? And then actually thickness is bigger than the width. So we need to cut these noodles, and then turn the shape of these noodles like this way. Thickness is bigger than the width. So for that to happen, we want to just go through this um, process of noodle making. So after mixing, right, we want to forming into a sheet of dough, right? And that's still fragile, so we want to make it stronger. And so we want to separate it, and then combine it through the roller to make it strong, firm. And after that, we repeat like the rolling process a couple of times, and then you're gonna cut it with this kind of cutter that we call sliotar cutter. Then so width is determined by the this cutter size, right? Each groove is in this case like 1.3 millimeter, right? Then thickness is determined by the thinning of rollers. And we have different sizes, different shapes of these cutters that we use to make different types of noodles, right? Including Iekei ramen noodles, right? And then so these are the basic shapes, right? Square, round, edgy. And then, but in case of Iekei ramen noodles, we use this kind of shape called like deep groove, right? So it's basically a square shape, but the grooves is like deeper, so that like we can cut this those sheet that's like very thick, right? So we wouldn't be able to like cut this thickness with that regular square shape cutter, right? So we normally use this deep groove cutter. Then so different shapes, right? And then round, edgy, rectangular shape, flat, and then reverse cut. That basically thickness is bigger than the width. To further, like yeah, in this picture, so this is the actual Iekei ramen noodles, and then you may be able to see like in this kind of low resolution picture, you can see the width, right? This is width. So the smooth surface, right, that you see on this noodle is the width, right? So it's pretty small, but like look at the thickness, right? You see the rough surface. So thickness is like way bigger than the width. So that's a reverse cut. And then but when you're cutting, right, these reverse cut noodles, thickness is way bigger. So well, it puts a like very heavy load on the cutting mechanism in the machine, right? This driving mechanism, right, to drive the cutter. So we need to design the original goal one to have this like really tough resilient mechanism to withstand this heavy load, right? That like that puts on the cutter, and then that puts on a machine every time we cut this reverse cut noodles. Well, if you use like regular conventional ramen machine, right, then the machines will just break, right, for in a short period of time. So yeah, and then another thing that I want to touch on, right, that Iekei ramen noodle is that like, so when we cook noodles, right, the noodles shrink, right, from the rough surface, like the thickness sides. And then so that's why like we have this like kind of cross-section ratio of like thickness by width of like 1 to 1.6 ratio. And then after we cook them, the noodles is shaped like this kind of square shape, like the 4 sides dented inwards, right? So that's very good chewy noodle texture. But the reverse cut noodles, because thickness size or rough surface, like absorbs the water, cooking water, and then soup, right? So it has like a very large area that absorb soup and water. So this type of noodle, they get soggy fast, but like at the same time they can scoop up like more soup, right? So as you bite into noodles, you can taste more soup, right? Yeah, so that's how but that's a kind of like Iekei, what people look for in Iekei ramen noodles. All right, so just kind of allow me to just talk a little bit about Richmond Gold One machine. So Richmond Gold One machine, like people started using this machine like more and more for to make Iekei ramen noodles, right? And then the one of the reasons is like ease of use, and then secondly versatility, and then built noodle making origin techniques. So so ease of use is basically, well, there are a couple things that we talk about. You want to feature this ease of use element. So automatic feeder, right? So we have this conveyor that carries the dough into the rollers, right? And it's automatic. It has the sensors that like measure how much dough is going in. So you know once you place the dough on the conveyor, right? The machine knows how much how fast you need to carry the dough into the how fast you need to like feed the dough into rollers, right? So you don't have to manually. I mean, on conventional machine, like you have to manually feed the dough by hand. So you want to know, okay, how much you are supposed to feed it at a time. Otherwise, like that's going to sort of like ruin the whole process of feeding the dough, like making the rush to the dough. So automatic feeding capability, right? And then another thing is like noodle conveyor is set to high position, so it's very comfortable. Like you can put regular chair in front of it, and then you can just catch the noodles from relatively high position, right? 65 centimeters high from ground. So you won't hurt your back, like catching noodles like an awkward posture. And then um, you can control a lot of things like in a touch panel. You can set the roll gap, you can set the roll speed. You can pretty much see like everything that's going on during the operation and the machine, right? You can even diagnose the machine or what's wrong with the machine in this touch panel. And then versatility, variety of sizes and shapes, right? So, well, as I said, you can make Iekei Ramen noodles in this Richmond Gold one machine. In addition to like, this variety of noodles that you can make with this Richmond Gold one machine, there's very wide range of hydration. You can of the noodles like you can make with this Richmond Gold one machine. Yeah, and different types of cutters, right? And then different ingredients that you can add to make different types of noodles, right? Flavoring noodles. Richmond Gold one machine has this 10 kilogram mixer that allows you to do a very good hydration of a dough, and then you can just add the ingredients in the mixing process, right, to make these different colored doughs, right? It's very easy to do. Built-in noodle making artisan technologies, like, well, it has like built-in technologies of that like mimics the noodle making artisan techniques, right? So basically this machine is designed to optimize the dough conditions for better noodle texture, flavors, the taste, right? So optimize gluten development, right, without damaging it is very important to in making very good noodle texture, right? And combine the process down, especially walking the dough, right, for ideal noodle texture. And then a lot of things are controlled by sensing capabilities of this Richmond Gold one. And then a lot of algorithm, and then computers that this Richmond Gold one has to regulate the speed of the conveyor, and then rollers, right? So basically, like it just removes like all the experiences and all the skills that you would need to operate this type of machine to be able to like make high quality noodles, right? That maybe like 10-year old, like 20-year old like noodle making factories are capable of making, but you can put anybody without any skill, regardless of skill or experience, to produce the same level or even higher level of noodles. Yeah, so that's Richmond Gold one. And then yeah, so one thing that's missing, right, from this kind of like online workshop is that like, well, you cannot really, experience, right, fully, right, about this machine, then types of noodles like Iekei Ramen noodles that we're gonna make. You can't touch them, you can't, feel them, right, and then you can't taste them. So that's pretty bad. But like, one thing you can do is that like if you are watching from United States, right, we have a special workshop set up for you, right, to then in Houston, Texas. We have a showroom in Houston, Texas, and then this workshop is coming up like later this month, 27, 28. And then we still have a few seats available, right? $60 US dollars per attendee. We share a lot of like noodle making expertise, right, during this workshop, and then you can try out freshly made noodles, right? Then we have a way more stuff that you can get out of this workshop, right? And then of course outside this workshops, like we can actually welcome you to private demos, right? That you can get appointments with us for the private demos, right? So in these private demos, like you can get to try out like maybe the local flowers you want to try, right? To make your own noodles, right? Stuff like that. So it's very valuable sessions that we can provide you with at this showroom, Houston, Texas. And then for those of you who are watching from Europe, right, or the same time zone, we have a showroom in Amsterdam. Then we have a workshop 5th, 12th, and 20th, 27th of this month. Then again, like private demos available as well. So if you have like already specific types of noodles that you want to make, right, then private demos probably better choice for you, right, than special workshop. But like if you're just kind of starting up, you're kind of thinking of doing something with noodles, I think a special workshop works better for you. And then we're broadcasting this from Japan, right? Kagawa, Japan, Yamato HQ headquarters. And then we have this special 2-day special workshop coming up in Kagawa, right? It's February 21st to 22nd. For those of you like for really into like those of you like what already have already been like running some noodle shops, and then you want to hone up your skills, right? This workshop is like pretty good choice for you to attend. The best of all, like it's free of charge. And then we're gonna do like a dive into like depth of ramen in the first day. And then because being the home to the most famous udon in the world, Sanuki udon, right, we're gonna do deep workshop, like the workshop in depth on like about Sanuki udon, and then other types of udon noodles second day. And then the in between Mr. Fuji, noodle guru in this industry, can have some private consultation sessions with you, like if if you're interested in, right? So please think about attending these events, right? So we have pages set up for you to sign up for your seat. Number of seats we have available is limited, so please sign up for your seat today. So all right, so let's start making Iekei Ramen noodles. Let's bring over one. So Richmond One machine, as I was explaining, right, is equipped with this most advanced kind of small mixer that we call silky mixer. That's a 10-kilogram mixer, and then the minimum batch is 4, so 4 kilograms solid ingredients, right? On top of it, we can add liquid, right? So this is a touch panel that you can set the timer and then set the boil gap and everything. So basically, cancy and salt. Cancy is combination of potassium carbonate and sodium carbonate, and then we want to dissolve in the water, right, to make this solution of cancy and salt. Then if we want to add it to the flour or solid ingredients right in there. So it has this lid, right? It has this lid with these holes, right? These small holes in that on the lid, and then the liquid drip through these small holes, right? To be added to the flour, that's being like agitated in the mixing blades, right? Um, so these small holes, allow the liquid to be added to the flour, like gradually, a little by little. So basically, we're doing trying to add a little bit of gradually, right? So, well, basically for good hydration, and then the mixer is designed with to have this kind of unique shape so that like the dough is like getting mixed up like agitated like in the inside mixer in a very good condition. And then so the mixing time is 10 minutes total, but you don't want to waste your time like just watching the mixer. So yeah, make me prepare this dough in advance. And then yeah, as I talked about it, like, well, the hydration level is very important variable to think about when creating the noodle recipe. And then it's Iekei, this particular version of Iekei noodles is 33%. Then it's as you can see that the dough is fairly wet, but like still kind of dry, and then the dough size is relatively small, and we are setting the roll gap right to 1.5 millimeter. So depending on the dough size, we want to adjust the roll gap, right? And then so as I told you, right? So she placed the dough on the conveyor, and then turn on the roller, and then the rest of the process is automatic, right? And then this is made possible because of the all these sensors, right? To that measure the how much dough is getting fed at the time. If it's the dough is the amount of dough that's going in like is not like enough, then which one knows how to speed up the conveyor. And then if it's too much, then it's going to slow down the conveyor belt to regulate the amount of dough that's getting fed into the roller. Yeah, and then we're doing this first process like very very slowly because of the well put good pressure on the dough, right? We want to develop you know very good gluten structure inside the dough. And then but rough forming process, I kind of quickly went over the process, but this is the first process. And then but still the dough is still weak, right? So we want to make it stronger by we want to separate it right into two. So like there's two separate sheets, right? Two separate sheets dough. Then we want to combine them, right? Combine them through the roller, right? So that's how we sort of walk this dough out. And then we want to set the roller gap to the appropriate gap, right, clearance. And then it's kind of 2 millimeter to 2 point. Yeah, so it depends on the it depends on the condition of dough, how hard it is, right? Yeah, so it kind of adjusts the roller gap accordingly. Yeah, so we have like this ratio that we use, right? When thinning the dough, or like combining the dough. Combining the dough like is kind of thinning in a way, right? We are combining the two separate sheets of dough into one, right? You know, but at the same time we are like applying the pressure on these two separate sheets of dough, and then combine them into one. So we have this ratio that we use. We adjust the roller gap to 30% of the previous roller gap for like so. It's not too strong. It's not too weak, right? So we want to apply like an appropriate amount of pressure on the dough, right, to um, you know develop the gluten structure. So otherwise, like if we apply too strong pressure, and then we're gonna damage the gluten structure, and then but the amount of pressure is like too small, then we're not developing the dough, right? We're not working the dough. So that's the 30% sort of like reduction rate that we have reached. Then so combining for the second time, right? And this ensures that we're developing the dough, right? Like working the dough properly. First time and the second time combining. And if we are doing it like first time, and then depending on the type of noodles, like probably one time may be enough, but like you do it twice, because we've done like bit of experimentation, like well yeah, we check the like noodle texture after we combine it twice, once, twice, three times, four times, right? And then we found that like a second, doing it twice, right? Produce the result, the best result, like across like different types of noodles, different types of, different levels of hydration ratio. So you should do it twice, but yeah, it depends on the type of noodle you're making. Depends on the quality of the noodle you're looking for. Because so after combining process, right? We can just start thinning it. But again, we want to apply the 30% reduction rule, you know, to set the roll gap like accordingly. Yeah, and then yeah, this is the duster, automatic duster, and then 33% is kind of like lower end of like kind of minimum lower side of like low, I know, medium hydration ratio noodles. Then so it's not that wet, but like we still wanna make sure that it's not gonna stick together. So we wanna dust, but like we're not gonna dust like too much, right? 33%. Yeah, so depending on the hydration noodles that you're making, right, we want to adjust that dusting. Okay, it's actual 2.7, 2.8, 2.7. Yeah, so average going for like 2 millimeter, right? The actual thickness was yeah, 2.7 something, like, so it bounced back by 0.7 millimeter. And then because we are making the Iekei Iekei noodles, right? So 3 points. Okay. Then so this is the deep groove cutter, right? Groove cutter. So like it has like grooves that are like well basically deeper than the regular square cutter. It's number 18, so like it's 1.7 millimeter or so. Right. So a little bit of cutting, right? This Iekei noodles. So because the thickness to cut this, thick noodles, right? Well, the machine should have like pretty tough mechanism to well keep withstanding this kind of high pressure, like high heavy load, right? On the cutter and then also on the machine. So yeah, the Richmond Gold one has this very strong mechanism to yeah withstand it, and then just cuts this type of noodle like a regular shaped noodles. And yeah, basically so it's going kind of fast, but like the portioning is pretty easy. Change the serving size is very easy to do with this machine. Just change the length of noodles, right? Then you know, well, making them wavy curly is very easy to do with the tool that you can put on the back of the cutter. Then yeah, checking the yeah shape, right? So can we take a measurement? Measure. So thick. That's so what's important to see that when we measure the width, right? We are looking at this smooth surface, right? That's 1.8. Yeah, and then looking at thickness, we should be looking at this rough surface. That's 2.7. Yeah, 2.78. 2.78. Yeah. So it's the thickness bigger than the width, right? And then yeah, I mean certain yeah some ramen shops like want to go like kind of really kind of extreme, right? Way bigger thickness than width. But well, there's a limit to how much you can go, right? But yeah, normally this kind of like ratio of like thickness to width is kind of regular version of Iekei ramen noodles. But depending on how you can do that, I mean, how much what the ratio you're gonna set, right? The noodle texture and then how much soup like they're gonna absorb and stuff, right, are gonna be different. So and then how long they last in the ramen soup, right? It's gonna be different. So just this is just one version, and then you guys should like find your own version, right? By trial and error. And of course, like we have like a basic recipe that you can start from, right, from your version from. So yeah, so try making Iekei ramen noodles, but like because of the thickness that this type of machine needs to cut, you want to have deep groove cutter, and then you want to have yeah, and then I have some question. Okay. I think someone from Rwanda, currently in Japan. I want to make. I want to know price for triple one machine. Okay. If you can leave your email address in the comment, like I can send it to your email. Because the pricing is different for different countries. Because of the certificate this machine carries, right? And then is that machine work for spaghetti? Yes, it does. It's capable of making spaghettini like fettuccine, um, you know even like a lasagna sheet and stuff like that too. So it's very flexible, very versatile. So yeah, so yeah, if you have any questions, we'd appreciate like if you can go to our website and then well send us your inquiries and question on a form. That'd be awesome, and then we'll be like more than happy to answer your questions. So this Friday, this coming up Friday, right? We have another workshop set up for the mazemen. Yeah, well, mazeme is like another type of ramen noodle, like that's soupless ramen noodles. That's being growing, pretty rapidly across the world. So, we wanna go, touch on these noodles, and then on Friday, we're not gonna show you guys, just not only like noodle production and a lecture, but also we are gonna be preparing some, actual Muslim dish that you guys can start making from next week. So that's yeah what we have for this workshop, and then don't forget to go to our website and check out pages for our real in-person events that we have in Houston, Texas, Amsterdam, Netherlands, and then Kagawa, Japan. Okay, so thanks so much for watching, and then we'll like to see you back in the next workshop. So thank you so much. Bye bye.